Well, hope you've been well, and thanks
I
for all
have.
your diligence during the meeting. So thank you.
You're quite welcome. Yeah,
$75 for primers, that's not available, usually for 1,000. Usually they were $30.
I don't care if they're $75.
They're not available. Did you hear me?
Yeah, so why are they $75?
They're only CCI. No, whenever they're available, that's what they are.
Can you get on a list?
No, everybody's on the list. After that, you quit keeping the list.
You are live on YouTube already.
Thank you, Anna.
And Anna, this is Jeff Albright. Before we get a large crowd on here, just wanted to thank you for all your diligence and hard work to coordinate the hearing. It's been seamless and sometimes overlooked the effort that you put into these things. So thank you very much. It's much appreciated.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, all. All right, we're about to go on the record. And before I do so, is there anything that the parties would like to address before I do go on the record?
Yes, Mr. Hearing Examiner. Today of all days, my internet decided to be glitchy. So if you see me go off, Kara Lynch is prepared to take over. So just wanted to advise you of that. It may be Kara and me popping in and out during Noah's testimony, and I'm so sorry, it's unavoidable, but hopefully the internet will hold out for the next hour.
No, that's actually a good plan to tag team, just in case. So is there anything else?
Yes,
No.
Mr. Hearing Examiners, I did check with Larry Blank regarding his availability this afternoon, and he is available late in the afternoon,
How late?
4 o'clock.
That's, oh, okay. Okay, well, probably, I was thinking last night that we still have quite a bit of cross-examination for Ms. Chan, at least listed on the spreadsheet on Exhibit B. And Ms. Chan is filling in for Mr. Settlage, and I think it would be fairer to her to allow her to testify tomorrow. And as far as testifying tomorrow, Ms. Terwilliger, because she has to prepare for testimony that's not hers. So I don't say it's only fair to allow her that amount of time. As far as the timing tomorrow, Ms. Terwilliger, would it be too much of an imposition for her to go first tomorrow?
No, Hearing Examiner. She'll make herself available. We can go first.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so she'll go first tomorrow. We shouldn't rush this. We all have other work that we can get to in the meantime before we conclude the hearing tomorrow. All right, is there anything else? Okay, let's go on the record. Good morning. This is our third day of hearings on the joint show cause motion regarding the abandonment and securitization of the San Juan Generating Station in case 19-00018-UT. I believe up first is CCAE and Priority Works. CCAE, Ms. Zerr, would you please call your witness?
CCAE calls Noah Long.
My name is Noah Long.
Raise your right hand and I'll swear you in. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Long.
Good morning.
For the record, my name is Stephanie Zerr, and I'm the attorney for Coalition for Clean Affordable Energy. And I would like you to please pull up CCAE Exhibit SC1.
Yeah.
Is that your response testimony you filed in this docket?
Yes, it is.
Okay, could you please state your name and employer?
My name is Noah Long, and I'm employed by the Natural Resources Defense Council.
On whose behalf are you testifying?
I'm testifying on behalf of CCAE and Prosperity Works in this case.
Was CCAE Exhibit SC1 prepared by you or under your direction?
Yes.
If I were to ask you the same questions today as asked in your testimony, would your answers be the same?
Yes.
Is it true and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes.
All right. CCAE moves to admit CCAE Exhibit SC1.
Is there any objection?
No objection.
CCAE SC-1 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome, Ms. Zerr.
I pass the witness.
Thank you. Up first with Mr. Long, and the only party requesting cross-examination of Mr. Long is P&M. Ms. Terwilliger, you have 30 minutes.
And P&M does not have any questions for Mr. Long. Fortunately and unfortunately, Mr. Long, we do not have any questions. Thank
I even put on a tie.
you. Sorry.
All right, well, thank you, Mr. Long.
All right.
Um,
Thank you all.
I would ask though, Mr. Long, hang on a second.
Sure.
Chief Hearing Examiner Shanauer, do you have any questions for Mr. Long?
Good morning. No, I don't. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Long, thank you for your testimony.
Yeah, thank you all. And I have pages and notes I was so excited to share with you all, but I'll save it for another time. Thanks for your efforts and talk to you all soon.
Thank you. I'm sure there will be another time. Thank you, sir. All right, you're excused. Let's see, up next. Pull up the schedule of witnesses is NM area, New Mexico area. Ms.
Yes,
Gould?
Your Honor. Is my witness in the waiting room?
Let me see. Not yet.
Can I have a moment to call him?
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Foreman,
Yes, sir.
I was going to ask you a question, but I think I'd still like staff to go last. So I'm not going to
Okay.
ask you that question about Mr. Reynolds preferring to testify today. Although if he would prefer to testify today, we could go out of order. But I
Mine was-
ordinarily like staff to go last.
Well, I did check with him yesterday, and if necessary, we could put him on, but I'm going to leave that in your discretion.
Thank you, sir. That was fast, Ms. Gould. Thank you.
Should I start, Mr. Hearing Examiner?
Yes, please.
Good morning. For the record, my name is Kelly Gould. I represent New Mexico Affordable Reliable Energy Alliance, also known as NM area. I call Ms. Dauphiné to testify today. Mr. Dauphiné?
Good morning.
Morning,
Please
sir.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Mr. Dauphiné, can you please introduce yourself and spell your name for the record?
Yes, I'm James R. Dauphiné, that's spelled DAUPHINAIS.
And who are you employed by?
Brew Baker and Associates, Inc.
What is your job title?
I'm a managing principal and a consultant in the field of public utility regulation.
You broke up on my end. I don't know if Ms. Gonzalez got that.
No, please repeat it.
Could you please repeat your job title?
I'm a managing principal and a consultant in the field of public utility regulation.
Thank you. Who are you providing testimony for today?
Providing testimony on behalf of NM area.
Do you have in front of you what has been marked as NM Area Exhibit SC21, titled The Responsive Testimony of James R. Dauphiné, filed on behalf of New Mexico Affordable Reliable Energy Alliance, filed on May 11th, 2022?
Yes,
Is this an accurate copy of your responsive testimony filed in this case?
yes,
Was this document prepared by you or under your supervision?
yes,
If the same questions were asked of you today, would your answers be the same?
yes,
And these answers are true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
yes.
I ask the hearing examiner to move into evidence NM Area Exhibit SC21.
Is there any objection?
No objection.
Hearing no objection, NM area SC-21 is admitted.
Thank you, Mr. Hearing Examiner. I pass the witness for cross-examination.
Thank you, Ms. Gould. Mr. Williger?
And Hearing examiner, unfortunately, we have no questions for Mr. Dauphiné as well, but thank you, Mr. Dauphiné.
Okay. Chief,
Thank you. I have no questions either.
nor do I. Mr. Dauphiné, nice to see you again. Thank you for your testimony. I'm sure we'll be seeing you again soon.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, sir.
And hearing examiner?
Yes, ma'am.
You know, we're making a little bit of live decisions here, depending on how cross went, if other folks had questions, but I can tell you that I think we're the only ones for Mr. Meyer. Yeah, based on my list. And if the hearing examiners don't have questions, we can stipulate to his testimony coming in, because we do not have questions for Mr. Meyer either at this juncture.
And I have no questions either, Mr. Medeiros.
Thank you, sir. So is there any objection to admitting the responsive testimony of NM area witness Greg Meyer and waiving his cross-examination at hearing?
I have no objection, but could we just ask Ms. Gould to please state what exhibit number it is?
I was about to do that.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Sure. It's so if there's no objection to the admission of NM area exhibit SC-22 and hearing no objection, NM area exhibit SC-22 is admitted, and Mr. Meyer, if there's no objection to Mr. Meyer testifying, then Mr. Meyer shall be excused. Hearing no objection, Mr. Meyer is excused from testifying at this hearing. Thank you, Mr. Meyer.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Meyer.
Take care. All right, so we're up to New Energy Economies witness, Mr. Fetter. Is Mr. Fetter available this morning? No, he's unavailable.
Yeah, he
Wednesday 1:30 to 4, so he should be available.
he made himself available today at 1 o'clock.
Oh.
That's what we agreed to yesterday. I called him up, if you recall, and he said he switched his schedule around.
And hearing examiner, Debria Twilliger, I know Sierra Club has 5 minutes as well, but we will not, based on no cross-examination this morning, we will not have questions for Mr. Fetter either. So we would be, if Sierra Club is okay, and you all don't have questions, the hearing examiners, so we would be fine for stipulating for the entry of his testimony and waiving cross-examination.
Mr. Marks?
Sierra Club will waive cross for Mr. Fetter.
Mr. Schanauer?
I have no questions for Mr. Fetter.
Mr. Medeiros, if you want to cross him, he is going to be available at 1 o'clock.
Is there any objection to the admission of NEE SC-1, which is Mr. Fetter's direct testimony and exhibits?
No objection.
Hearing no objection, NEE SC-1 is admitted. And is there any objection to Mr. Fetter? Well, obviously his testimony has been admitted, but that doesn't mean there wouldn't be cross-examination. So just for the record, is there any objection to waiving the cross-examination of Mr. Fetter? Hearing none, Mr. Fetter is excused from testifying at the hearing. So that leaves us with no witnesses until very late in the day today, because Mr. Blank would not be available until later on in the day. So what I suggest we do is just use this day to work on other things, and then convene for the final day of hearings on the show cause motion tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. with the testimony of first of Ms. Stella Chan. And I'd ask about Mr. Blank now. Is there any plan about cross-examining him? Or could he be stipulated as well?
We have no cross for Mr. Blank. We would not object to stipulating his
Oh,
testimony.
and you're the only, okay. Well, here's Examiner Sanauer, do you have anything?
No, I don't, Mr. Maderos.
Okay. Let's go ahead then and let me pull up the right document or right browser, that is, and pull up his testimony as well. I believe it is marked WRA Exhibit SC-1. Is that correct, Ms. Beatles?
Yes, it is. I just checked myself.
And are there any other documents that he's responsible for? I don't think so. I just want to check.
No, there's not.
Okay. Is there any objection to the admission of WRA Exhibit SC-1?
No objection.
Hearing none. Hearing none. Thank you. WRA Exhibit SC-1 is admitted. Is there any objection to waiving the cross-examination and examination of WRA witness Larry Blank? Hearing none. Mr. Blank is excused from testifying at this show cause proceeding as well. Okay, that leaves us then with Ms. Chan tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., followed by Mr. Reynolds for staff. Is there anything to address before we move on with the rest of our day and then convene tomorrow for the conclusion of the hearing? Mr. Marks?
Mr. Maderos, I have a schedule conflict in the morning at 9. I have a mediation in second judicial here. I'll ask to be excused. If my mediation ends fairly early, I will try to get back on, and I would ask. I'm not sure if I would have anything for Ms. Chan, but if she was still on the stand and I was out of order, I would ask that I be given the chance to ask questions if I had any.
I'll give you that flexibility.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Since we're into flexibility during this proceeding.
We're in the luxurious position of having extra time.
Yeah, I was speaking of a different kind of flexibility. It's more of an assertion in the case. But
thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, I'll grant you that. And just pop back on, and we'll look to admit you if you make it back.
And if I do not, Mr. Maderos and Mr. Schanauer and parties, thank you very much for I don't know, for these proceedings. We appreciate the chance to participate, and as always, the professionalism of the utility bar.
Thank you, Mr. Marks. That's very nice. Thank you, sir. So, Mr. Albright, I saw you with your hand up earlier. Do you have something?
No, sir. You'd already answered it. It was concerning Mr. Blank. So I just had an inquiry there, and then Mr. Reynolds, and you've clarified the order. So I don't have a problem with anything and no objections.
Okay.
I think I only have some remaining cross for Ms. Chan now, and for a few questions for Mr. Reynolds.
Okay. And again, let me convey my hopes that Mr. Settlage is recovering, and we're thinking of him. So, but, and thank Ms. Chan again for stepping into the breach, as I said. Is there anything else? Okay, very well. With nothing else, we are in recess at this show cause proceeding hearing until 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good day.